Hey YouTubers, today we're going to talk about the 2015 KTM 390 Duke. I recently did a test drive of this bike. I rode it for 45 minutes comprehensively, and today I want to talk about some of the key points that I noted. This is a very short video. I'm going to give you the bottom line, so I'm just going to talk about the key points I noted about the bike. I'm going to give you my conclusion, and then I'm going to give you my final conclusion and advice for new and young riders that are potentially targeted for this bike. So as I mentioned, this bike is definitely a product for young and new riders. It competes with the Yamaha R3, the Kawasaki Ninja 300. It's basically in the entry bike category. So in terms of key points, I noted this bike to be extremely light. It's a great handler. It pulls extremely strong in second, third, and fourth gears. First gear red lines, I felt first gear red lines too quickly. It has reasonable fit and finish. It's assembled in India. The gearbox was okay. The seat I noticed was very hard. It had a very good view of the road. I felt that this is a bike that's good for urban cities, and it's just okay for the freeways. It has okay power, but I don't see myself riding this more than 20 miles on the freeway. This is a great bike for the twisties, and I thought the suspension was okay. So my conclusion on this bike is that I think this is a very San Francisco city friendly bike. I wouldn't say it's a California friendly, because we have vast open roads here in California, and I feel the power is not enough power for me for touring and exploring the entire California. But for an urban city like San Francisco, or a city like New York, I think this would be okay getting around the city. It is a fun ride, but I could see initially it is a fun ride, but I can see myself getting bored of this bike, because it just it's a limited one-dimensional bike in terms of lightness and fun in the city. For me, for the my kind of riding, I actually the question is, would I buy one? For me, I would probably say no, because I feel that the bike is too small for me. I don't think it has enough power and torque for me, and it does not give me the freeway touring capacity, going long distances in terms of the freeway comfort and the freeway pull. So for me, this is bike, it does not appeal to me. I wouldn't buy one for in my case, but I think this is a bike more geared towards young riders, new riders, and I think this is a bike that's okay to practice on. And I would say that in bikes like this, the 390 Duke and other entry-level bikes, young riders, I personally think that you will outgrow this bike extremely quickly, and I think that you should consider getting a bigger bike with at least 500 to 600 cc's that you can keep long term, because I don't see a serious rider hanging on to a bike like this, a bike this small, for over the long haul, particularly here in the USA. So my advice to you up and coming young riders, or motorcycle riders that are gonna get new into motorcycling, is I wouldn't waste your time on getting an entry-level bike like this, particularly new, like getting a new entry-level bike like the 390 Duke, or some of the other entry-level bikes like the R3s and the Ninjas. I think it's a waste of time. Get a used one. Get it, if worst case, get a used one, practice on it, and get rid of it as quickly as possible. I would just recommend getting something bigger. If you're really serious about motorcycling and you have a passion of it, you'll know whether you like it or not. It's in your heart will tell you whether you like a. So I would recommend get something bigger. Don't waste your time getting something small like this. Just go big.